We live?
I'm Josh.
I'm Robert.
I'm Dominic,
Jeez, took a while.
and this is you guys showing out, having a great time. And we like to watch fun little movies and talk about them.
Fun.
And today we watched the family rom-com Pan's Labyrinth, directed by Guillermo Del Toro.
Del Toro.
Del Toro.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be the movie with David Bowie in it. It wasn't.
That would have been quite a not entirely the same movie, I must say. A bit of a difference in tone between Labyrinth.
I think it just kept waiting for him to appear, but it didn't happen.
Yes. I thought there were puppets in this movie. Oh. It's not quite.
I thought there were a few songs as well, but there wasn't.
Yeah. Seems a little less light-hearted than I thought.
But I remember.
It's easy to get mixed up. Pan's Labyrinth. Labyrinth.
The Labyrinth.
Anyway. Well, I'm glad you didn't watch that. I'm glad you watched the right movie. I'm glad that I watched this movie because I thought it was great. And that's my review.
I agree.
What did you guys think?
I thought it was a good movie, but that made me sad, so I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, this is
This movie is
a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
It's an emotional roller coaster that only goes down.
That depends on how you interpret it, though. I mean, you can interpret it to have a happy ending or a sad ending.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Indeed. I interpret it as a happy ending, because happy endings for me is when people die. When people die, it's...
Especially children.
Yes.
I love it when children die.
Some might say you're a bastard, Josh. I'm one of those people. You bastard.
I say I'm a bastard, but that doesn't stop me.
Yeah. But before we get to the ending, we must first
start at the beginning.
My sensei. I didn't really take notes on this one. I just figured this would be more of a roundtable discussion on what the hell it actually meant. Man, there was like a lot of imagery in this movie. Specifically, like the fawns, like the horns of the forest creature, because they're everywhere. There's like hidden fawns, like imagery and everything. There was one on the bed, on her mother's bed, on like the stairs. You can see them on the stairs as well. On the tree, there was those horns.
Yeah, I noticed there were horns everywhere.
I didn't notice any of that. But that's just me.
And it's and it's also like symbolism for fallopian tubes apparently, because it's like motherhood and childbirth are a big like theme.
So, oh, okay.
Well,
that kind of makes sense. If a bit weird, but you know. I think that's the aim. That's basically the aim of this movie.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. Like I had no idea about the history in Spain and that they had a civil war. I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
I don't know anything.
1938. How do you guys not know that?
Because we're not nerds.
That's where you don't need to be a nerd to know that. That's where
I never went to school like you did.
Robert, you bloody privileged people who've been educated.
Gave experimental weapons to, I don't remember which side of the Spanish forces it was, but he gave some of them to Spanish forces to test out experimental weapons that he would later use on the rest of Europe.
I know, Robert. I've played Wolfenstein, alright? I know about Hitler and his experimental
Not
weapons.
make it.
So don't even try and tell me.
Not make it.
I played the remake. Anyway, yeah, I had no idea. The only thing I learned in history was like Australian history and how terrible white people are.
Yeah,
I never learned
that's
about
basically
Spain.
all you learn in history.
You get to learn about that in American history as well. I'll have you know.
What, Australian history and how bad white people are?
In American history,
yeah.
how bad
Strange.
white people are.
Yeah, but like not South American. Well, wow, I nearly said Spain was in South America.
Whoa.
It's been a long day. I'm in Europe, Southern Europe. You know what I mean. I know where Spain is, guys.
Aren't you like the whole European man? Jeez.
I can point to Italy, alright? That's where I'm from. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, Italy's easy though. It looks like a boot.
Yeah. But this movie, obviously, yes, it takes place in the South American country of Spain, right next to Peru, I believe, right under the Chilean mountains. So don't quiz me on history. I'll beat you. And it's basically like some guy is like a real asshole, and then some chick, and then some fawn guy, and he's like made of wood or something.
Can I just say, man, Guillermo Del Toro must be one creative ass dude.
Dude, so cool.
Those creatures, man. Damn. They're like
so
cool, but terrifying.
Yep.
That fawn was basically Satan. I thought it was when I saw it.
Well, he is the servant of the king of the underworld, so, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, that was cool. I really liked that he was like made of wood, and then he like creaked every time he moved.
That was creepy. Awesome. Oh man, that was creepy.
That was so cool.
I couldn't handle that.
I like the movements of that fawn too. That was like really, actually, of all of the supernatural beings, all the movements were really sharp and what's the word? Abrupt. Like every time they did something, it was like really fast and really abrupt.
I didn't like that
creepiness.
Man, I liked it, but I didn't like it. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
If you ever see anyone doing that in real life, you just run. They're gonna kill you.
If you ever see anyone at a feast and they've
got
put their eyeballs into their hands and then run after you like this, then you should definitely run away.
God, that thing. Oh man.
That was so cool.
Awesome.
That was awesome, but dude.
Yeah.
God.
I love me a good creepy being.
Guillermo Del Toro, man. You got problems.
It's hard to imagine that he also is the same guy that directed Pacific Rim. Because it's like they're so different. It's like, yeah, he must have a lot of range when it comes to movie making. So it's like,
Pacific Rim was written for one particular type of audience, though. I think he knew who he was writing to. This one's probably more writing for himself.
This one.
I'm kind of sad that he never.
Go on.
I'm kind of sad that he never directed The Hobbit, because he was kind of in line for directing The Hobbit as well. And if this was anything to go by, I reckon The Hobbit would have been like crazy cool if he did it.
I've never seen The Hobbit.
I think
so. Whatever.
Yeah. Peter Jackson directed it instead, and it was alright. But if Guillermo del Toro directed it, would have been like off the chain.
He was the writer for The Hobbit. That he did the screenplay. He did the screenplay for The Hobbit. Guillermo del Toro did.
He did it with Peter Jackson, and then because he was going to be the director, but then he dropped out, and so they kept him as a credit for the writing.
But anyway, back to the actual.
I did a little bit of research. Yeah.
Anyway, back to talking about that movie.
A lot of awkward silences in this. Just a lot of...
It's such a downer of a movie. It's like, far out.
It brought me down. Not gonna lie. It brought me right down.
I'm gonna say no to that. It didn't bring me down. I like a good downer movie.
Yeah.
It's downer movie. You're down already. Downer movies just bring you up.
Ting.
You get off on the pain of other people suffering.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, the asshole dude from the start, from the beginning, the asshole guy.
Oh man, he was so. That guy is amazing at acting. I'll say, easily the best performance in this movie, at least, and about like the best performance I've seen in ages.
And he's bad ass. Because when he sews his face back together.
Oh man, there were so many moments in this movie when you just like, oh, just cut away, dude. Just cut. No, I don't want to. Just cut. Just go to a different scene, man. So many. Oh, it was great, man. But like when the chick gets the knife out when she's about to be tortured, and then she gets the knife out and like stabs him and cuts his face. It's like, just, if you're gonna go, don't go half the way, right? Just kill him then and there. Don't leave him alive. Just like finish him off. You had him right there.
Go for the throat, man. Go for the throat.
Yeah. Alright, that was cool though. When he just walks out right at the end after he shoots Ophelia, and he walks out right at the end, and all the rebels are standing there, and he's just like, "Tell my son that the time and date that I died," and then she's just like, "Your son will not know your name," and then like shoots him through the face. That was awesome.
I love how they don't cut away from anything in this movie. They're just like, usually in movies they'd cut away and show something else, but this movie is pure and utter realism, and they just keep it there. And
pure and utter realism. Says the film with four fairies and a guy with eyes in his hands that goes like this.
Yeah,
it's pure realism for you, Josh.
It's an interesting parallel, because it's like you have such realism in like the real world, and then you get to the fantasy world, and it's just so, I don't know. It's definitely nothing like I've ever seen before. Like, I wouldn't be able to name a movie like this. I can't, like...
There's not many there's not many dark fantasy movies either. I looked up a list of all of the dark fantasy movies, and there's something like 26 ever.
Yeah, and it's like, all I can think of is, like, imagine Inglourious Bastards, except instead of, like, being fun, it was really depressing, and also the girl went and travelled into a fantasy realm. It's like... That's the only way I'd be able to describe this. Okay, here it is. It's Inglourious Bastards meets Alice in Wonderland. That would be what I would say.
Yeah, probably. Or just meets the Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Because it definitely...
I haven't seen it.
Can I just say...
It did have a bit of a Labyrinth feel, but it was like a dark version of the Labyrinth.
Can I just say, for a movie called Pan's Labyrinth, there wasn't much Labyrinth in it.
There also wasn't that much Pan in it either.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. This movie is false advertising. 4 out of 10.
I think Pan was the fawn.
I think so. Because in Spanish the name is El Labarinto del Fauno. So
yeah. So we can only assume. Except why change it to Pan? I guess Labyrinth of the Fawn doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But far out. Don't watch this movie and like expect to feel
Good afterwards.
energized afterwards. But I would say definitely watch this movie. I wouldn't say it was like depressing. I'd say it was kind of uplifting in some ways. And
No, I don't agree with that at all.
I found it to be rather. I definitely don't regret watching it. Robert, did you regret watching it?
I don't regret watching it, but I don't think I'd watch it again. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
I don't like to be brought down.
I would probably watch it again. Probably, and I do definitely recommend it. It's quite good. It's well done, and unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
So yeah, if you like having fun watching movies, check out next week's podcast where we talk about a movie that's a little bit more fun. I've decided what movie it's going to be, and
If you say Schindler's List, I'm going to glass you.
Boy with striped pajamas. No.
No.
I think too many secret agendas would be revealed if we watched Boy in Striped Pajamas. I mean, what?
Yeah. We're going to be watching A Footloose. Oh, Sunday shoes.
We're watching Footloose.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes. Okay, awesome.
2011 remix. Whatever. Footloose starring Kevin Bacon. The 80s dance classic.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do this to us?
Because I know you hate it. Who knows, you might like it, Robert.
No, I won't.
Maybe you need to just get a little bit footloose. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
No, I
you
don't.
need to loosen up. Dance a bit, Robert.
I don't like to dance.
Yeah.
Well, too
See,
bad.
that's what the people in the movie say. But I won't spoil what happens at the end, alright? Because we got to find out
You've
next
already
week
seen
if
this.
they end up embracing dance.
You've already
Or
seen
not.
it, and you know I'm going to hate it.
Well, I don't want to... Look, the plot takes a lot of twists and turns. I don't want to spoil it for you. So heavy spoiler warning. Don't look it up or anything. It's very unpredictable. Definitely shocked me a lot. So definitely don't want to miss next week's podcast. In the meantime, I'm Dominic.
I'm Josh.
I'm Robert.
And we're three guys chilling.
Yep.
That was a quick... That was a quick podcast. Yeah.